All right, what's up, everybody? Wes Goldberg here, RealGM Radio, recording this on Wednesday night after a wild Pacers win in Game 1 over the Knicks. You have to play 48 minutes against these Pacers. I've never seen a team quite like this one. Got some takeaways that I want to get to, but just a quick recap of what went down here at the end. I thought this game could have been over after Jalen Brunson picked up his fifth foul, and he had to get subbed out of the game at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and that's when the Knicks actually went on a 14-0 run to go up 16. Huge points by OG Anunoby in that stretch. The Knicks go up 15 with 5 minutes left in this game. Looked like they were cruising to a win here. Madison Square Garden's going crazy. And then what happens? Craziness happens. Aaron Nesmith makes 6 straight three-pointers. He had 10 points going into the fourth quarter, finished with 30 points. He made that from every spot around the arc. Absolutely unreal. 6 straight threes for Aaron Nesmith. Wild. He did something Reggie Miller never did in a Pacers uniform. He had 8 3-pointers made in a playoff game. Just a whatever is past on fire. He was like triple 4 times whatever on fire is. He was making shots from all over the place in all kinds of ways. Fast forward, Pacers down 2 with 23 seconds left. The Knicks nearly turn it over on the inbounds. Josh Hart slips, but he recovers while he's going to catch the ball. Gets it to Karl-Anthony Towns. Cat gets fouled. He goes 1 of 2 from the line. Knicks up 124 to 121 with 14 seconds to go. Then Aaron Nesmith gets fouled. He makes both free throws. Then OG Anunoby gets fouled. He splits his free throws. We're going to get to regrets here in a second. Those free throws, those missed free throws ended up being pretty important. Then it's Tyrese Haliburton. 7 seconds left. Brings the ball up, drives right, looks like he's going to go for 2. Then Mikal Bridges gets a hand on the ball, and I didn't see it at first, but then you go and watch the replay. Bridges definitely pokes the ball free, but Haliburton manages somehow to keep his dribble alive, makes a U-turn, goes out to the three-point line, and then heaves a jumper. He makes the shot. It looks like a 3. I thought it was a 3. He thought it was a 3. He does the Reggie Miller choke sign toward the Knicks. But his toe was on the line, so it's ruled a 2. Somewhere, Kevin Durant was watching the game being like, yep, I know how that feels. Been there, dude. And then we go to overtime. That choke sign, potential for that Haliburton choke sign to look really dumb. And when I was kind of thinking about how I was going to react to this game, I was like, okay, is that going to be the story? Is the toe on the line going to be the story? Are we going to have a Kevin Durant 2.0? Is that going to potentially cost the Pacers a chance to steal a game on the road to start the Eastern Conference Finals? A potential tone-setting win goes back to reverts back to a loss. We thought it was going to be a loss. They come back. They end up losing the game. The choke sign looks kind of ridiculous. Overtime will tell. Well, Indiana, the Knicks score the first 4 points of overtime, and then Nembhard for Indiana scores 5 straight points to take the lead, and then it's basically back and forth for a bit after that. So let's just go skip to the final 30 seconds of overtime. Nembhard cuts behind a sleeping Josh Hart to retake a 1-point lead. The Knicks turn it over with 20 seconds left. Looked like it was almost off of Nembhard, but the Pacers use a challenge. It's successful, and the officials rule that it's off of Jalen Brunson with 20 seconds left, so it's Pacers ball. Obi Toppin gets the easy dunk. Mitchell Robinson falls asleep on that inbounds play, so Toppin gets the easy dunk. Probably could have been an and one. Officials don't call it, whatever. Knicks get a chance to tie the game. Had they called the and one on Toppin, they would have been up 4 if Toppin made the free throw, but they're up 3 with 20 seconds left, with just under 20 seconds left. Jalen Brunson gets the ball, airballs the potential game-tying 3, and Karl-Anthony Towns gets a shot. He misses. That's it. Knicks blow a 17-point fourth-quarter lead in their first Eastern Conference Finals game in a quarter century. Devastating for them. Another amazing comeback for the Pacers. 51 points for the Pacers combined in fourth quarter and overtime. Just absolutely wild. A crazy finish, a crazy game. A crazy entertaining basketball game. What a way to start this Eastern Conference Finals series. And to go back to the Knicks part of this, they're going to regret a few things in this game. Those missed free throws at the end of regulation, that came back to bite them. You've got Nembhard making his free throws, all of them, and then you've got missed free throws by Anunoby. You've got missed free throws by Karl-Anthony Towns, all within the last 15 seconds of the game. Had one of them made those free throws, had both of them made those free throws, Haliburton does have a chance to tie the game or go for the win, which is what he thought he was doing, but ultimately ended up tying the game. So that's a tough look. And then the defense at the end was just horrible. Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson falling asleep on those cuts at the end of regulation and the end of overtime. Those were just really tough plays for the Knicks. They did not execute down the stretch, although you could argue that they were the better team for most of this game. I thought the Pacers had a really hard time defending them. They didn't have any real answer for Karl-Anthony Towns, who finished with 35 points on 11 of 17 shooting, 12 rebounds. They didn't have any answers for Jalen Brunson, who had 43 points in the game. Nobody really could stay in front of him. The Pacers, if Aaron Nesmith doesn't make 6 straight three-pointers in the fourth quarter, just something we've never seen before, just absolutely crazy stuff. If he doesn't do that, we're not talking about a Pacers win here. We're probably not even talking about a Pacers comeback. But this Pacers team is unlike any team I have ever seen. You have to play all 48 minutes against this team. They just find a way. They are so resilient. It's not just one guy doing it. Haliburton was sensational down the stretch. Nembhard had his moments. Obviously, Nesmith making the threes, and his defense was huge during this game for stretches. They just get big play after big play. They closed the game with Obi Toppin and Pascal Siakam in the front court so that they could switch everything, which I thought was a really ballsy move by Rick Carlisle at the end of this game to take Miles Turner out and go with Toppin, which I thought that limited the Knicks offense quite a bit. I was a little surprised they didn't go earlier to a switching scheme. I was a little surprised that they started the game with Turner on Cat. It didn't work. Karl-Anthony Towns averaged 30 points a game against the Pacers in the regular season when Miles Turner was his main defender in those 3 regular season meetings. I thought, okay, maybe you put the wing on him to start this game. Nope, Carlisle played it straight up, went with Turner on Cat. It didn't work. I'll be interested to see what he does in game 2. But like I said, the Knicks, they outplayed the Pacers for most of this game, but you have to do it for the entire game. It's not enough to do it for most of the game. If you only do it for most of the game, you're probably going to lose against this Pacers team. This run for the Pacers in these playoffs is crazy. Knicks fans talked about how their team was the team of destiny. It actually might be these Pacers. They come back from down 7 with 34 seconds left to close out the Bucks in round 1. They came back from down 20 against the Cavs to take game 2 in the second round, and now this. That's 2 comebacks in each of the first 2 series. They didn't need that one against Milwaukee, but the Cavs come back in game 2. That set the tone for that series. They stole the first 2 games in Cleveland and obviously ended up winning that series. And then they just stole a game in Madison Square Garden. So did they just do it again? Going back to regrets, this game was close. This series is far from over. But if the Pacers end up winning this series, we're going to look back on this game as a huge inflection point in Pacers history, in Knicks history, in the story of this season, in NBA history, potentially. That was a huge game. Time to hand out some L's. Okay, time to hand out losses. This is a loss for those players who said Tyrese Haliburton is overrated. He out-clutched the clutch player of the year. He's been sensational in these playoffs, goes beyond the stat line with him. There is a belief with him. He wasn't even phased. Some players would have been phased after doing the choke sign and then it being reversed from a 3 to a 2. And there's like, oh, I kind of look dumb for that. Not him. He doesn't care. He's a trash talker. I think he annoys players, which is why they ultimately called him overrated. I would be surprised if those players, and by the way, that athletic poll, when you kind of do the math on it, it's like 9 or 10 players were actually the ones calling him overrated. But still, do they really think he's overrated, or are they just annoyed with him because of the trash talking? But I like Tyrese Haliburton because he's a trash talker, but he has fun with it. He doesn't take himself or the trash talking or the game, all that stuff. He doesn't take it too seriously, which I appreciate. This is a loss for Tom Thibodeau, who again played his guys a ton of minutes. They didn't seem fresh. They did not seem to have that same energy as the Pacers did in the final minutes. Maybe that's why Josh Hart is falling asleep. Maybe that's why Mitchell Robinson is out of position after a mostly awesome defensive game for Mitchell Robinson. But Tibbs rode his guys a lot, as he always does. They're playing 3, 4, 5 more minutes than those Pacers starters, and that stuff really adds up. And the Pacers just were able to execute better down the stretch, and the Knicks weren't. This was a loss for Knicks fans who had been partying midway through the fourth quarter at Madison Square Garden. They even sold out a theater for Knicks fans and all this stuff. Just absolutely crazy stuff. It's a loss for them because this goes down as one of the most devastating losses in Eastern Conference Finals history, with all the things considered. Considering that this was the Knicks' first time back in the Eastern Conference Finals in a quarter century, given the way that they beat the Boston Celtics, given that they were up so much by 17 points in this game, and to lose it in that way, and for the opposing team to outclutch you, kind of beat you at your own game. Like, this is the Knicks' whole thing, right? They had the clutch player. They were the team that in a close game, you trusted their guard, Jalen Brunson, to step up. And instead, Brunson's airballing threes and Tyrese Haliburton is taking care of things. So it's a loss for Knicks fans. That Uber ride home is going to suck. That Uber ride home, that one sucks. I legitimately feel bad for Knicks fans after that. It's also a loss for the Kings. The Pacers totally won the Tyrese Haliburton trade.